You know that free t-shirt you got at the game last season? Or maybe that hat from a tournament you went to? You probably just thought, hey, free stuff. But what if I told you that simple giveaway is actually part of a massive billion-dollar strategy? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the complex world hidden behind all that free swag.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. Why do you still have that free water bottle from that 5K you ran like 5 years ago? We've all got one. That thing we just can't bring ourselves to throw away. It's probably kicking around in a drawer or a closet right now, right? Well, that little object is the key to understanding a huge industry.
Okay, so the world of sports tourism, it is absolutely massive. You've got cities and event organizers in this constant, fierce battle for your attention and, let's be honest, your wallet. And their single biggest challenge? It's figuring out how to cut through all that noise and make their destination the one you'll never forget.
And believe me, the stakes are incredibly high. Get this, according to Sports ETA, more than half, 53% of these organizations say their #1 goal is destination branding. Basically, they want to be the place you immediately think of for a certain sport or a big event. It's all about building a brand that's powerful and instantly recognizable.
So how in the world do they solve this billion-dollar problem? Well, the answer is kind of surprising, and it's probably sitting in one of your drawers right now. Yep, that humble little promotional product. That's the unexpected hero of this whole high-stakes marketing game.
All right, but let's be real for a second. Does all this swag actually work? I mean, is it really that powerful, or is it just a bunch of stuff that ends up in a landfill? Well, the data is, honestly, it's pretty shocking. Let's take a look at the numbers, because they show exactly why these giveaways are one of the most powerful tools in the marketing playbook.
85%. That's an incredible number. 85% of people can actually remember the advertiser who gave them a promotional product. Now, just try to compare that to some digital ad you scrolled past yesterday. I mean, come on. This kind of recall is what traditional advertising dreams about. But the real power isn't just that you remember.
It's how long you remember. Because it turns out a staggering 89% of people can still remember that advertiser a full 2 years later. 2! This isn't just some fleeting impression, you know? It's a long-term memory that gets physically baked into an object. And the reason for that is actually super simple. We keep this stuff. 58% of us hold on to these products for more than 4 years. So that free t-shirt isn't just a shirt anymore. It's a walking billboard that you willingly keep in your closet for years.
And just so we're clear, this isn't some rare thing. The Promotional Products Association International found that 8 out of 10 of us, 8 out of 10, own somewhere between 1 and 10 of these promotional products. They're everywhere. They're a super effective form of marketing that has quietly become a normal part of our lives. Okay, so now that we know just how crazy powerful these things are, it probably won't surprise you to learn that organizations don't just hand them out randomly. Oh no. There's a really sophisticated strategy, a whole playbook really, that decides who gets what and exactly why.
It's like a multi-pronged attack. So you give premium gifts to the athletes, right? But those aren't just gifts. They're designed to become instant Instagram posts. Then you have these special, tailored items for VIPs and officials. That's all about building those crucial relationships behind the scenes. And by co-branding with sponsors, they make the merch more valuable for everyone involved without spending extra cash. They even have rebate programs to get local clubs to buy in bulk, which spreads the brand at the grassroots level. See? Every single item has a very specific job to do.
But look, having a brilliant strategy is only half the battle. Actually, getting millions of these items into people's hands, well, that is a massive logistical puzzle. It involves some really complex decisions that have to be made way before a single t-shirt ever gets printed.
So the first big question is always, where do we make all this stuff? You could source it overseas. That can save a lot of money and gives you complete control over customization. But you have to plan at least 2 months in advance. The other option is sourcing it domestically. It's way faster and much more flexible, but it's probably going to come with a higher price tag and maybe fewer custom options. It's a huge trade-off.
All right, then they have to figure out how many to order. They could go with smaller, more flexible orders, what they call minimum order quantities, but the cost for each individual item is going to be higher. Or they could go big and order in bulk. That gets them a much lower price per item, but it also means a huge upfront investment and the massive headache of trying to manage all that inventory.
Yeah, navigating all these decisions is so complex that it's basically an industry in itself. And that's where specialized companies, like Team IP, sometimes called the king of merch, they step in.
They manage this entire complicated process, handling literally everything from design and production all the way to distribution for some of the biggest sporting events in the country.
Okay, so after all that intense strategy and all that logistical planning, what's the real payoff? Why does that t-shirt sitting in your drawer matter so much to a city's economy or a team's brand? Let's break down the huge value that this whole operation generates.
It really all boils down to 4 key things. First, you've got enhanced brand visibility. I mean, your hat is basically a mobile advertisement. Second, it drives visitor engagement. It makes you want to share your experience online. Third, it becomes a real, tangible souvenir, a physical link to a great memory. And finally, and this is a big one, it creates a very real local economic impact, often by supporting local businesses in the process.
And this doesn't happen by accident. It's a very professional process. Organizations follow a clear blueprint. First, they identify the right partners and set clear goals. Then, they develop custom products that really tell their unique story. After that, they plan exactly how they're going to get those products into people's hands. And finally, they launch the campaign, and then they measure the results to see what actually worked.
So when you really put it all together, that free hat you got isn't just a free hat. It's the final piece of this incredibly complex, data-driven strategy. It's all designed to build a brand, create a lasting memory in your mind, and ultimately drive economic growth for an entire community.
It's a huge shift in perspective when you think about it that way, isn't it? So the next time you're handed a freebie at an event or you buy a souvenir, take a second look. Ask yourself, what story is this little thing really telling?